What's going on with the goings on, yeah? You see me. I want you to understand me. Get where I'm coming from. It seemed like I got the big head today. It's cause listen, I had to take my braids down. You know what I'm talking about? So my hair all over the place. You understand me already with the alreadys. It's a parental advisory, explicit content. You know what I'm talking about? If you ain't ready, hey, get ready. You know, send the kids where they need to be. Let's get to where we need to be. You know what I'm talking about? Already with the alreadys. As you can see, it ain't been no whole minute. I got a lot of things to unpack. Battle rap being one of them. You know what I'm talking about? And the whole Sue Surf debacle. You know, everybody wanted to talk about it because it was a hot topic. So I told you this is what it is now. Niggas ain't even thinking about rap. Niggas ready to push that button and push record. You feel me? And you know, let the cookies fall where they may. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody an Oreo. Nah, they just looking for the cream filling. But we gonna get into that. You know what I'm talking about? Because that might be a long topic. We gonna get into some of these shenanigans so we can keep it moving. You know what I'm talking about? So, I'm sorry, y'all. Forgive me. Shout out to Cardi B and her getting flowers. You know, in the trailer, you know what I'm talking about? I guess she was doing her Old Navy commercial. And she was stating that Old Navy is the only thing she could really fit. And how she was stealing from Old Navy. And she glad that they made Old Navy made her an ambassador. Said she was one of the freshest people in high school because of Old Navy. You know what I'm talking about? So shout out to Old Navy. Shout out to the commercial. I seen the little skits. It looked promising. You know what I'm talking about? Then I seen the actual commercial. Yeah, it is what it is. It shall be what it's gonna be. You know what I'm talking about? So you know that was probably weeks ago. You know what I'm talking about? And you're just not giving us the footage, but we appreciate it. Shout out to you becoming an ambassador. Shout out to Amaretta, you know. Sure. By the time you came back on the same young lady, you know what I'm talking about? You almost 30 now. If you ain't 30 something. Ain't you 30 something? I'm not quite for sure. I ain't seen you in a while. You know what I'm talking about? But I seen your freestyle. I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't missed the beat, huh? And the beat goes on. For real, for real. Shout out to man, what was that name? Oh, shout out to the before I get into that. Shout out to the number one quarterback in the country. You know what I'm talking about? What you had 800 yards in one game? That's remarkable, good young man. You know what I'm talking about? Your name is Aiden Pop Houston. Look, and you working with your dad, so you not only acting a fool on the court, you acting a fool off the court. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't nothing wrong with discipline over here and discipline over there. Hey, look out! We might have to look out for young Aiden. And he got a shoe contract with Nike. This is what happens when there's a father in the home, and when that money come through, he teach you how to use that money. You know what I'm talking about? We're going to put some of this in the athletics. We're going to put some of this in the bond and share. You know what I'm talking about? Or a trust. Or even a CD. You know what I'm saying? I'm a CD man. Or a trust man. You know what I'm talking about? We either going to make this money do what it do and finance it. You know what I'm talking about? A whole lot of things could be going on. Whatever makes sense to you, good brother. You know what I'm talking about? But shout out to you, though, Aiden. And more power to whatever you got going on. Shout out to Skilla, baby. Hey, all my real show me love. All my real people show me love. Because you was out there dancing that song with the white folks. All the real people show me love. Because all the real people, hey, so get from around me with all that fake stuff. Yeah, I'm talking about already with the already. Shout out to Skilla. You know what I'm talking about? No, you know you made a hit when you got your clear friend singing it. You know what I'm talking about? For real, for real. Shout out to Damon Darling, man. I hate you going through this, good brother. So Damon Darling got banned from all the Walmarts because he was giving out free meals. That's crazy. You can't even give out nothing for free no more. This country, like, hold on. We the only people gonna give out something for free. And the only reason I'm giving out something for free because I get to control what's free or not. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't a part of no control, it's just random thought. They ain't with it. You can't have your own freedom of speech. How you gonna have one of the number one rules of the Constitution, one of the number one amendments, and not uphold it? You know what I'm talking about? Crazy. Yeah, your very first amendment right is freedom of speech. You know, freedom of due process. You feel me? So, you know what I'm talking about? So, shout out to Damon Darling, man. I hope you can continue somewhere. You know what I'm talking about? I seen you even come on live and say, look, since they don't want me to do it at a Walmart, you can put your business in the comments, and I'll come to your business and give out shit for free. You know what I'm saying? I'm making enough. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing enough. We need to put this coffee on shelves. This Meemaw coffee, we need to put it on the shelf. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the black-owned businesses. See, that's what I be saying. You want me to say black-owned businesses, but you won't turn around and support yourself. Why don't you, instead of asking for money, why don't you give some money away? You know what I'm talking about? Give what you don't have. Shout out to Damon Darling, though. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to, I guess this is where we finna get into some of these shenanigans. Shout out to Raymond Daniels and Charlamagne the God. So I guess, you know what I'm saying, an artist I will not name decided he wanted to get super old and still make albums. We're gonna see how it worked, though. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? Because without what you got going on, I don't see how you're gonna keep going on. And you might go get some motherfuckers, but it's gonna sound absent now from all the things you've been stating. You know what I'm talking about? Because you can't go gangster. You can't go old man either, because you've been in the middle your whole life. You know what I'm talking about? How you gonna talk about the middle? You ain't even there no more. But that's no here nor there, huh? You know what I'm talking about? We shall see. But I guess Charlamagne the God and Ray Daniels got into a little spat because they was gonna have a rollout on the album, and I guess Ray Daniels spoiled it. I don't know, but you gave Ray Daniels Donkey of the Day, and he was highly patoot. You know what I'm talking about? Made a statement and everything. You know what I'm talking about? Which is gonna be a storyline for y'all to have a further conversation. You know how it go. You know what I'm talking about? And then the young brother gonna come out with the album. Anyway. In other news, in Detroit, Michigan, a 13-year-old decides to shoot his dad 2 times in the back because he ain't like the way he was being disciplined. You know what I'm talking about? And it was on the west side. You know what I'm talking about? I think that was the east side, though. I don't know who gave that information out. But the reason why I wrote it down, I ain't write a whole lot down. You know what I'm talking about? Because it's been on my timeline for about a week. I wasn't going to talk about it, but hey. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, it's always good when a dad's in the house, because I just was talking about Aiden Houston. You know what I'm talking about? How his dad in his life, and you see the end result. A blessing. And then you got another 13-year-old who don't want to listen to dad, probably sitting in his room all day doing Robux. You know what I'm saying? In his own life, decided that his dad wasn't fit to discipline him. I wish the dad would just look at himself like, well, damn, I can't discipline my son. What am I telling my son that don't make sense to him? Simple conversations. The only way you can understand a human being is to talk to him. Simple as that. It ain't even that hard with that one. Young Miami and Ty, I guess they did a live stream yesterday or day before yesterday. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about? Before the live stream, Young Miami did a whole Chanel outfit. I was wondering where that outfit came from. She did a picture of it. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You gotta go to my story. Go to my timeline. Start following some of these people so you can know what's going on when it's going on. But I guess she made an outfit. The outfit was kind of nice. I liked it anyway. And she was just talking about her life and talking about, you know what I'm saying, the song and what she expect from her mate and, you know, all the other things that go on with a beautiful interview. Shout out to you, Young Miami. Shout out to My Detroit Lawyer. So, I told you about the 13-year-old, right? So, My Detroit Lawyer decides he wants to go to a home, I guess, and do his due diligence, right? I'm going to let you go and look at the feed, you know what I'm saying? And you give me your output on it. You feel me? He was, I guess, a cop decided he was gonna unalive somebody. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about? I just like My Detroit Lawyer, so you know what I'm saying, I shared him on my story and share some of the information. I might get into it, I might not. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, that'd be some of the things that I pay attention to. Shout out to going right into that. That'd be something I listen to. You feel me? So, something else I listen to that I've been listening to since 2001. You know what I'm talking about? It don't even seem like 25 years, but it's been 25 years, good brother. So I probably was listening to you 3 years prior to that. Because once I started looking at the information, I'm like, this is what my elders been telling me my whole life. Now, sometimes you do need to hear from somebody else to know it's real. That's something that, you know what I'm saying, they don't tell you, but they need to. So, Richard Gregory. For those that don't know who Richard Gregory is, Dick Gregory. You feel me? Somebody you need to go follow if you ain't following, or do some research on him. You know what I'm talking about? And he stated that all raindrops have one job. I'm going to leave that right there because I can go into further detail, but I'm not. I'm going to make you go into further detail. I'm going to say it again. All raindrops have one job. Shout out to Victor. I don't know, I'm going to butcher your name. Vic Misa. So Vic Misa is one of the actors from The Chi. He was Lala Anthony's, one of Lala Anthony's significant others. I think he was the last one. He got unalived in one of the episodes. You feel me? He also does social media skits where he grabbed the orange off the tree and then he state whatever's on his mind. Shout out to you, Vic. I guess you was 3 years sober. Another artist that I care not to name decided to speak ill upon you, and then you started speaking ill upon him. Y'all went back and forth. I can dig it. You understand me? But it's a bigger agenda. I just wish you would get to it instead of needing clickbait. You feel what I'm saying? But most of you people outside of clickbait can't think. And if you do, you feel like you're going to reveal too much. It's a way of talking without talking. You know what I'm talking about? What's Luther Vandross's favorite song? Or one of? You got me going in circles. Oh, round and round I go. You know what I'm talking about? But shout out to you, Vic. Shout out to Candace Whitehurst. Candace Whitehurst is she ain't a veteran, but for 43 years she made outfits for the Navy. So like the Blue Angels and some of the Navy SEALs, she been making their outfits for 43 years. And it's a sewing machine company in in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, she loses her job to some clear man in Virginia. You know what I'm talking about? And she was getting the low end of the stick just because you was a forever customer. She was only charging you $127K. You changed outfitters. Now all of a sudden you paying $1.69 million. I mean, if my math served me correctly, that's 10%, 12%, right? Like, I don't understand what the problem was. But I guess she's willing to pay that high price, huh? To each his own, though. I mean, me personally, if somebody been treating me right, and I'm been treating them right, ain't no sense of making no difference. You know what I'm saying? You just go all of a sudden send me a paper in the mail saying, oh, by the way, you fired? Looking ass. Crazy. Speaking of fired, Jamie Foxx versus Rashard McCants. I guess they had a back and forth spat, probably about who's the GOAT. So, you know what Jamie Foxx saying. Jamie Foxx say LeBron James is the GOAT. Hey, I can't argue with you. You know what I'm talking about? I guess Rashard McCants. We didn't even get to see who his GOAT was. There was so much back and forth. But I guess, you know what I'm saying, Michael Jordan is the GOAT. Hey, I'm not arguing with that. I always said it was 1 and 2. You know what I'm talking about? Once he retired, you know what I'm talking about? I'll go into further detail, but I ain't doing no details right now. 1 and 2. Michael Jordan, LeBron James. It don't matter who come after that. I seen Scottie Pippen say something crazy. He even put his rings on and made an image that looked like, you know how the Michael Jackson glove is? Yeah, he made a nice little image. You know what I'm talking about? With his 6 rings on. And the 6th ring was on the middle finger. You know what I'm talking about? I understand, I can dig it, but at the end of the day, because if that's the case, Robert Horry would go ahead of you. What? You know what I mean? Big shots that man made. He got 7 rings playing. Shout out to Robert Horry. You know what I'm saying? And you had to check him, especially back in the what he retired early 2000s, but like in 2001, 2000, even like 96, 97. Niggas don't even know who Robert Thorpe is. You know what I'm talking about? But Robert had to check him. I'm gonna give you where he got. He got drafted by the Houston Rockets. I ain't gonna say what his best. Me personally, I think his best years was when he was with the Pistons. But Robert Thorpe used to have to check Robert Horry all the time. You know what I'm talking about? Already with the alreadies. Especially when he was in Houston. That's what made Robert Thorpe a star, checking Robert Horry. But that's no here, not there. You know, I could go down the rabbit hole with basketball as well. Shout out to Jimmy Foxx and Rashard McCants, though. You know what I'm saying? LeBron James need a cheerleader. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Speaking of LeBron, I liked the shoes. I ain't gonna say they were great shoes, but they was all right, though. You know what I'm talking about? For the practice tip. Even for the league tip, too. Especially, you know, I know you're gonna have different colorways. That baby blue colorway it wasn't for me. Maybe if it's all black or red and black type thing, where you got black fading into the red, and then the back where you got your little signature at, make that black. Yeah, it'll look like a shoe. But red and black, my favorite. Red particularly is my favorite color. I wanted to talk about the 1970s, right? Particularly 1973. You seen my story where they had the machine. I'll call it the mind machine. But the making of the machine and how the machine was going to be able to do everything. and it came on Super Friends. They had Superman, Batman, and then the Mystery Twins. You know what I'm talking about? It's crazy, huh? Superman, Batman, and the Mystery Twins, and they all go and talk to this doctor, and this doctor is telling them, hey, everybody gonna be able to take a break. Because this machine right here is gonna be able to duplicate. They was talking about clone, they were talking about everything. You know what I'm talking about? What was gonna happen 30 years from now. So if you had it 30 years then, take you 10 years, you had it 10 years before that. Listen. If you don't know you've been manipulated by now, then you need to just get off my channel. Speaking of manipulation, shout out to I'm gonna say her name as best I can. Tia Maddox Martin. That name again is Tia Maddox Martin. And she wrote a book called Art of Emotional Intelligence. Me personally, I don't think you wrote the book. I think you just paid for the rights, paid for the information, and then had them write. And that's just the way it goes. Because I don't think you got emotional intelligence. I think it's just, it ain't nothing but wrong with scheming. You know what I'm talking about? I don't think you got an emotion. Let me say it right. I don't think you have an emotional tail in your body. But that's just me. You know what I'm talking about? I've been talking about emotional intelligence for at least 2 decades. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? But that's no here nor there. You know what I mean? Shout out to Tia Maddox Martin. I like emotional intelligence. That's what I live by. And that's it for that. So let's get into what I like getting into. And that's, I'm just going to say, that's battle rap. You know what I'm talking about? So I guess Sue Surf decided to say something I've been saying, but don't nobody want to listen until it come out a battler's mouth. I'm tired of people saying that I'd rather listen to a battle rapper than listen to the people that's watching. The people that's watching can see what battle rappers can't see. Sometimes battle rappers can't even convey what they got going on until a couple days later. Meanwhile, I've been watching it. You know what I'm talking about? I come on the next day. You know what I'm saying? I can see what you didn't see until you watch the tape over again. You know what I'm talking about? So I know you fucked up right then, but man, you gotta go and see that you fucked up. Anyway, so I guess Sue Surf decided to state winning doesn't matter. And the media went on a frenzy. I'm talking about, well, you had Top Floor Lou talking about it. Shout out to ARP. You know what I'm talking about? Sorry It's True and Rare Breed Entertainment. Both of them channels. Shout out to you, good brother. You know what I'm talking about? You had a good outlook on it. You know what I mean? I didn't watch Proper Boy because, you know what I'm talking about? I just didn't watch him. But I listened to Top Floor Mars. And his outlook was, because he a batterer in the mix of the thing. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't think in the whole that battle rappers understood what was going on. You know what I'm saying? You know, I watch motherfuckers co-sign Surf, especially you, Big Bad. Some of these people got names from another motherfucker, let alone understanding winning and losing. Yeah, winning don't matter if you got charisma and charismatic and you can put on the show. I ain't gotta pay attention to you one because you gonna come on here and put it on the floor. And how for 5 years straight you don't know how to put it on the floor? And then they was saying respectfully, Sue Surf need to stop talking because we've been talking since you been gone. Which I understand that part. Motherfuckers been talking since you been gone. You supposed to sit back, listen, and observe about what's going on, and then make your statement. And for him to sit back for 100 days and still come and say exactly what you've been saying for 4 or 5 years, and now all of a sudden you listening? You should have been listening to yourself a long time ago. You should have been putting on. Now you want to go and put it on? Why? This is why don't nobody want to come and outfit the events, because they don't know what kind of suit you're going to come in on. You know what I'm talking about? And then another thing about wearing clothes is cool. Yeah. If you can afford a clean and a presentable outfit, nigga, that's how you move. But you can't come in clean this event, maybe even the next event, and then on the third event you look like a bum, because that's originally how you be moving. You know what I'm saying? This is basically what the battle rappers is saying. Sue Surf particularly, nigga, if you talking money, look like the money. If you talking gritty, let us know that's where you at. And when you come in looking gritty, then you come in looking gritty. Cause I watched the motherfucker who his name was Rosenberg Raw. Then all of a sudden somebody gave him a name. Now he Frozenberg Raw? Or Frozenberg? He wasn't even froze. Then this what really pissed me off is you not giving a nigga a shout out. I don't care. You should have that was right at the point. This is why battle rap where it's at. Why you ain't give me no shout out, good brother? You do go down any other rabbit holes that make it make sense. You wouldn't even have a name. You wouldn't have Froze or Bros if it wasn't for a doggy bomb. So don't sit here and talk crazy, knowing goddamn well, nigga, I'm where you at. I'm what you understand. I'm what you really mean. You know what I'm talking about? Already with the alreadys. And then what's funny is the Spaces community too. Like I went through a few spaces. I like to hear the rhetoric and people going back and forth and me getting a better understanding of who these battle rappers are. But after that, the lyrics. After that, I know it's a lot. That's what it sounds like. And in this day and age, people don't like to do a lot. This is why it's not going on. You got to do a lot to get where you're going. You might even have to leave people. People don't want to do all that. And that's crazy to me, because how you want to get on and be famous if you can't even be famous? How you want to get on and get the best of your potential if you won't even put out the best of your potential? You know what you're good at. At least that's what you claim. You claim you know where you at. Then show it. A person shouldn't have to get on here and tell you how to show it. Especially, a lot of these people was here when he left. So that means for 4 or 5 years, what you been doing? You ain't been putting yourself on. You waiting on another nigga to put you on? You will never get on. You know what was funny? Was listening to I don't even know what facts to call you. I'ma just call you facts. Listening to facts. And how he was just talking, and it's like, nigga, all you wanted was content and being a media personality. Marketing it at its finest. Hungriness as its finest. But that's it. How you gonna talk about battle rap but you in battle rap? And if battle rap was gone, would you have something to talk about? What else would you talk about? At the end of the day, you know what you would tell them all? Oh, I got other stuff. We'll talk about other stuff then. It ain't gonna sound as plentiful. That's what they boil down to at the end of the day. You ain't got shit else you talking about. You talking about what's going on because it's going on. You know what I'm talking about? And with that, I'm gonna leave that alone, because I feel like I ain't even give you life for what. You want me to tell you what I personally think? And I'm gonna put this hat up when I say, I think you a bitch ass nigga. You know what I'm talking about? And without the battle rap media platform, you wouldn't be nothing. I see you play your little games, but everybody play games. And that's what I think on that. And then I be thinking too at sometimes, like a lot of you people be coloring, you know what I'm saying? The colors be looking good. Purple, orange, green, yellow. You know what I'm talking about? You looking good, but y'all be outside the lines. You know what I'm talking about? Motherfucker be, oh, I love battle rap, but when I cut the screen off, fuck these niggas. You gotta make up your mind. Cause eventually what you think, you gonna speak. If you don't speak it knowingly, you gonna speak it unknowingly. Either way it go, it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out in the wash. So speaking your mind would be your best bet. I think I got a few other things too. And then I seen I don't know who it was. It might have been Frozenberg. And he said Averb came soon as you left. He picked it right on up and just kept going and flowing. He made you look kind of crazy, Sue Sir. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I guess his whole thing is exposure and how battle rap ain't what it is cracked up to be. Yeah. Once the sponsors left, wouldn't you think it ain't cracked up to be? You would think it's a hole in the armor and you just gonna keep going and you gonna keep going and you gonna keep going because it makes sense to you. Ain't nobody fighting with you. It makes sense to me too, because it means you battle rappers that be rapping feel weak. And then, let me say this before I finish. I want you to get upset. You need to speak. You need to let motherfuckers know where you're coming from, battle rappers. You feel me? Make some good music behind it. If I gotta fall on the sword and be ignoramus, then let me be ignoramus. You know what I'm talking about? But make some good music. I need some shout outs just like you need some. But black owned businesses don't get where they going. You know what I'm talking about? Once they realize you ain't really making no dollars, they like, oh, we ain't fucking with him. Like I ain't got my shit together. Don't you think I could have been acted funny and started doing this shit for money? No, because I be liking to say what I want to say when I want to say it. And a nigga not gonna stop me from saying it. And the only way to do that is not get a dollar. You feel me? So if you don't fuck with me, I ain't gonna be upset. You know what I'm talking about? I know where it is. I know when you talking about me and when you not. Whether you say it or not, it's just hard for you not to say it. You feel me? Where you get it from? Motherfucker gonna act like they got it from themselves. No, they didn't. You got it from me. Especially when you changing names in the culture. Especially when you writing shit that don't need to be written. That's also true too. Y'all did a nice little tidbit when it came to the ghost writing. But damn, why ain't nobody came out with no music? It's my thing. Good music though. Good music for the soul music, because that's what niggas is missing. Why ain't nobody came out with it? You say you making it, and everything is everything. No. Hey, I'll continue to be quiet. And I ain't never gonna write. I'm done with that. If you ain't taking me to the studio, then it just ain't gonna be nothing going on. And that's just where I'm at with it. If it destroy everything, so be it. I told you, nigga, I will motherfucker take the cow to the market and slaughter its ass and give it away for free. And won't nobody make no money. Period. You know what I'm talking about? You got your tools infused that's making it happen, but they making it happen on a large scale, so they not even coming down to fuck with you raggedy ass niggas. And you know what's crazy too? Fans turning into bloggers. That shit is funny as hell. I ain't got that much time left, so I ain't gonna dwell on this long. Fans becoming bloggers. Why not? You let bloggers become rappers? Rappers, you know what I say? Bloggers become rappers and rappers become bloggers? So why not? Hey, might as well. Fan might as well talk about what's going on. He the best one to know what's going on. You know what I'm talking about? Now, when it comes to a rapper becoming a blogger, it's like you know too much insight to be talking this and that. You can't talk around me when you've been around me. You need to say what's around me. But you got to say it in an intelligent manner. That's what a lot of people lack: hunger and intelligence. Intelligence being a strong word. Let me get into some of this. Let me get into some of this. These battle raps. Oh, let me talk about this for a minute, for a hot second, and then we're gonna get into the raps. Jazz the rapper. You can't co-sign everything. You gotta have your own mind. You know what I'm talking about? I follow you, so shit. I don't know how to give you some good advice without sounding hypocritical. But I will say this though. You've been around for 5 years. Your career went up, your career went down. Your career went up, your career went down. But you ain't made no big splash. You know what I'm talking about? And that's a prime example right there. Her career went stagnant when that man left. Where did she go? I mean, she had a couple big matches. She even had a freestyle on Funk Flex. Motherfucker be killing me. In order for you to get what you going, you gotta fuck with Doggy Bone. And niggas won't do it. For whatever reason or another. You know what I'm talking about? That's one of the reasons why I did the blog. Was who you gonna steal from? You can't steal information. Because it's for the masses. Everybody can have this. I mean, everybody can rap. Truthfully honest, that's what I think anyway. You know who I wanted to talk about too? 3 Letterman. Shout out to you, 3 Letterman. You caught a straight for no reason. You know what I'm talking about? And you one of the motherfucking staples of the culture who kept it going. I could talk about Angry Fan. Me and Angry Fan, it ain't that bad. I just don't fuck with Doggy Bone. You know what I'm talking about? For my own. Maybe one day I get into the rhetoric. I did it before. You know what I'm talking about? You catch one of my channels, you know where I'm at. You know how I feel about Doggy Bone. So, but shit, he a staple too. A nigga you should be listening to. He also said that Sue Surf was losing his mind by saying, it don't matter if you win. But I have been said that. It matters if you win. You know what I'm saying? But it don't matter if you win if you ain't got all the other intangibles. You can't say it don't matter if I win, but you ain't putting on. You ain't talking crazy on these screens. You ain't accepting big matches. You got to do all the things. And people ain't willing to do all the things. You know what I'm talking about? Already. So let's get into a few of these. Oh, you know what's also funny about that shit? Excuse my language. I don't mean to offend or harm anyone. This is my disclaimer. Snoop Dogg didn't know none of the people that's rapping right now to this present day. This happened maybe last year before last. So most of these people are still rapping. You know who Snoop Dogg said? O Solo. O Solo been rapping since O Solo been rapping. He said that was his favorite artist. Is O Solo your favorite artist? 9 times out of 10, he is not. You gonna pick someone else. You gonna pick a motherfucker like Top Floor to Mars. No offense, I don't mean to, you know what I'm saying, put down your material, good brother. But it's just, the point I'm making is, O Solo ain't your top artist when it comes to this music. You feel me? And for Snoop Dogg not to pick none of you people, but pick somebody he been knowing for so long that made a viral clip, it just says what's going on with the artists and what's going on with battle rap in the whole. You know what I'm saying? They ain't paying you no attention for real. The world ain't really for real. You know what I'm talking about? You gotta make it splash. You gotta do a goods to animal. You gotta do a Lux. Even though Lux barely come outside, but when he do, it's remarkable. You feel me? It's marketable. It's charismatic. He got a character. You know what I'm talking about? He got chemistry, charisma. What you call that? Moxie. Shout out to Caution and shout out to E Hart. You know what I'm saying? I guess E Hart and Big Ice had a battle over the weekend, despite the chaos that Sue Surf wanted to ensue. Shout out to E Hart, man. You're on the run again, huh, sweetheart? I love listening to your music. You always gotta see some bars here. You know what I'm talking about? We understand. We fuck with. She's a veteran, but Snoop Dogg didn't say E Hart. And at the end of the day, a lot of you niggas that's talking pick E Hart. But Snoop Dogg don't know who she is. And if he do know who she is, he ain't picking. He like, oh, Solo. You know what I'm talking about? Already with the alreadies. Damn, it's a lot. That's something else I gotta talk about too. But shout out to E Hart, man, and Big Ice. I gotta listen to that to see who really won. They say E Hart did what she was supposed to do, but you know how that go. You know what I'm saying? I gotta see it for myself to make that a candid decision. But I guess this weekend you're gonna be battling Caution. You know what I'm saying? I wish you'd have went on this run after your last year. Could have been. I might have started talking again. You know what I'm talking about? I got one more person, and then we gonna get up out of here. Young Jay Black. Shout out to you, good brother. Shake my hand. So Jay, they wanted to talk about Jay Black and how he fell back. I would have fell back too. When I seen the state of battle rap wasn't gonna go nowhere. I gotta find me something else to do. And that's about it with that. We ain't gotta talk no further. He fell back because there wasn't nothing going on. Just like me, I fell back because there wasn't nothing going on. And I told y'all, I ain't talking until baby boy come home. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't finna give battle rap another thought until I see my doggy bone come home. Because at the end of the day, then nobody want to listen to me but that good brother. Look where that good brother went to. He was flying high. You know what I'm talking about? Some days, because I got a pad. Some days I sit and think. You know what I'm saying? I be wanting to jot shit down, but at the same time, I'm like, man, if I don't do this blog, I don't know what might happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how my sanity gonna be. You know what I'm talking about? I be needing this for my own personal recognizances. Let me see. Before I get up out of here, let me see if I covered everything. What I want to say before I get up out of here is y'all got to start letting the bars match the look. You know what I'm talking about? And putting your best foot forward. You know what I'm saying? No matter how it might look. If it's ugly, it's ugly. You can fine tune that. You can make it do what it do. You know what I'm talking about? You just make sure you the best version of yourself. Whatever that may be. You have to find your niche and stick to it. You know what I'm saying? And make it the fluid you need. The fluidity that you need to keep your bars going. You know what I'm talking about? And guess what? If you see that light, you know it's real. And with all that being said, as the old saying goes, the smoke's gone, I'm gone.